Ancient Egyptian. Ancient Egyptian arose around 3000 BC as one of humanity's first written languages, uniting the Nile Valley through administration, trade, and religion. Written in hieroglyphs and later hieratic script, it served as Egypt's lingua franca for over 2 millennia. By 700 BC, it evolved into Demotic Egyptian and later into Coptic by 400 AD, bridging Pharaonic and Christian Egypt. Though Arabic replaced it after 700 AD, Coptic endures today in the Coptic Orthodox Church, preserving the oldest continuous linguistic lineage in African and Mediterranean history. Akkadian. From roughly 2500 BCE to 1000 BCE, Akkadian served as the world's first major written lingua franca. Originating in Mesopotamia, it unified the Akkadian, Babylonian, and Assyrian empires through a shared cuneiform script. By 2300 BCE, under Sargon's empire, it became the region's administrative and diplomatic language, spreading across the Fertile Crescent. For over a millennium, merchants, scribes, and kings used Akkadian in trade, law, and correspondence. Around 1000 BCE, Aramaic gradually replaced it, but its vast clay tablet archives preserve the earliest records of organized human civilization. Sanskrit. Sanskrit arose around 1500 BC as the sacred and scholarly language of ancient India, uniting Hindu, Buddhist, and Jain traditions across South Asia. From 500 BC, its vernacular forms, Prakrits and Pali, spread through trade and Buddhism from India to Southeast Asia. After 800 AD, Persian influence reshaped northern Indian languages, giving rise to Hindustani, Hindi-Urdu, by 1600 AD, which became the subcontinent's dominant lingua franca. This continuum reflects a 3,500-year evolution from Sanskrit's ritual precision to Hindustani's vibrant modern role across India and Pakistan. Sinitic Chinese. The Sinitic language family began around 1200 BC, developing into Classical Chinese, the written lingua franca of East Asia for over 2,000 years. By 500 BC, it unified governance, scholarship, and philosophy across China, Korea, Japan, and Vietnam. Its literary precision shaped Confucian, Taoist, and Buddhist traditions. During the late imperial era, through 1000 to 1900 AD, Classical Chinese remained prestigious while spoken dialects evolved. After 1900 AD, Mandarin Chinese became the modern national and international form, preserving the Sinitic world's continuous linguistic and cultural unity for over 3 millennia. Koine Greek. Koine Greek emerged after Alexander the Great's conquests in 330 BC, blending regional Greek dialects into a single, accessible language. It succeeded Classical Greek as the common speech of the Hellenistic world, spanning from Egypt to India. By 200 BC, it served merchants, scholars, and rulers across 3 continents. The New Testament was written in Koine, spreading it throughout early Christianity. After 600 AD, it evolved into medieval Byzantine Greek, continuing as the administrative and intellectual language of the Eastern Roman Empire for another millennium. Latin. Latin emerged around 200 BC as the administrative and military language of the Roman Empire, spreading across Europe, North Africa, and the Middle East through empire and law. By 100 AD, it had become the common tongue of governance, philosophy, and literature. After Rome's fall, medieval Latin dominated religion, science, and education across Christendom. From 800 AD onward, it evolved into the Romance languages, Italian, French, Spanish, and Portuguese. Though no longer spoken natively, Latin survives today in the Catholic Church, taxonomy, and academic tradition. Arabic. Arabic emerged in the Arabian Peninsula around 600 AD, rising to prominence with the spread of Islam. The Quran, written in Classical Arabic, standardized the language and elevated it as a sacred and scholarly medium from Spain to India. Between 700 and 1500 AD, Arabic became the lingua franca of science, philosophy, and trade across the Islamic world. It influenced Persian, Turkish, Swahili, and even European languages through loanwords and scholarship. Today, modern Standard Arabic continues this legacy as a unifying linguistic bridge across more than 20 nations. Turkic. The Turkic family of lingua francas began around 600 AD with Old Turkic, the written language of the early steppe empires. By 1000 AD, it evolved into Karakhanid and Chagatai Turkish, serving as literary and administrative languages across Central Asia under the Seljuks and Timurids. From 1300 to 1900 AD, Ottoman Turkish became the imperial lingua franca from the Balkans to Arabia, blending Turkish, Persian, and Arabic elements. After 1920 AD, modern forms like Turkish, Uzbek, and Azeri continued this legacy, uniting Turkic peoples across Eurasia. Persian. Persian, also known as Farsi, emerged around 800 AD as the cultural and administrative lingua franca of the Iranian plateau and Central Asia. Building on Middle Persian traditions, it flourished under the Abbasid Caliphate, Seljuks, and Mughal Empire, spreading from Anatolia to India. Between 1000 to 1700 AD, it served as the literary and diplomatic language of Islamic courts, deeply influencing Turkish, Urdu, and Arabic. Even after Arabic replaced it religiously, Persian endured through poetry and scholarship. Modern forms, Farsi, Dari, and Tajik, remain vital across Iran, Afghanistan, and Central Asia. Malay, originating around 800 AD, classical Malay arose as the maritime trade lingua franca of the Malay archipelago under the Srivijaya and later Malacca Sultanate. By 1400 AD, it connected merchants from Arabia, India, and China, spreading Islam and literacy through the region. During European colonization between 1500 and 900 AD, it remained the bridge language across Southeast Asia. After independence in 1945, Bahasa Indonesia, a modernized form of Malay, became Indonesia's national tongue, while Bahasa Melayu continued in Malaysia, Brunei, and Singapore, together sustaining centuries of cultural and linguistic unity. Swahili. Swahili developed along East Africa's coast around 1000 AD, blending Bantu grammar with extensive Arabic vocabulary through trade and Islamic contact. By 1300 AD, it had become the main lingua franca of the Swahili city-states, Kilwa, Mombasa, and Zanzibar, linking Africa, Arabia, and India. Under Omani and later European influence, it spread inland through commerce and colonization. Adopted as a national and regional language after 1960, Swahili now unites millions across Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and the Congo Basin, serving as East Africa's cultural and political bridge. Romance. Descended from the Romance language family, both Spanish and Portuguese evolved from Vulgar Latin around 800 AD, inheriting the legacy of the Roman Empire. By 1500 AD, during the Age of Exploration, they became global lingua francas through Iberian maritime expansion. Spanish unified vast colonial territories across the Americas, while Portuguese connected Europe with Brazil, Africa, and Asia. Their spread carried Latin-based religion, law, and literature worldwide. Today, with over 800 million speakers, they remain enduring heirs of Latin's linguistic and cultural empire. French. Evolving from Vulgar Latin through the Romance language family, French rose to prominence around 1600 AD as Europe's diplomatic, intellectual, and aristocratic lingua franca. By the 17th to 19th centuries, it dominated courts, science, and culture across Europe, replacing Latin in international affairs. During the colonial era, it spread through Africa, the Caribbean, and Southeast Asia. Even after English gained global dominance after 1945, French remained vital in diplomacy, education, and the arts. Today, it unites over 300 million speakers across continents as a symbol of cultural refinement and global heritage. Russian. Russian emerged as a major lingua franca around 1700 AD under Peter the Great, who modernized the Russian Empire and expanded its influence across Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Rooted in the Slavic language family, it unified diverse peoples within the Tsarist and later Soviet realms. By the 20th century, Russian became the language of administration, science, and ideology from the Baltic to Siberia. After 1945, it spread through Soviet alliances. Today, it remains a key interethnic and scientific language across post-Soviet nations and beyond. English. Emerging from Germanic roots and heavily shaped by French and Latin influence, English evolved into a global lingua franca after 1600 AD. It rose with the British Empire, becoming the administrative and educational language across continents. By the 20th century, the United States' economic and cultural power cemented English as the dominant medium of diplomacy, science, and media. Its vast vocabulary reflects centuries of contact with earlier lingua francas. Today, with over 1.5 billion speakers, English stands as humanity's first truly worldwide communication bridge.